seconds till we realized we got to go back.
Wow.
We're having fun over
it's
here.
funny I should ask the question, though. I was not in my chair. I ran over to our other hey, breaking news, hockey this morning. Not on National Soccer Network, though. It's going to be on our new sports channel called Sports Nation. We were going to announce that next week.
There it is.
There it is. We were going to announce it next week. But, yes, we have 5 hockey games here today taking place in Rhode Island. The Summit Series is coming to the Sports Nation TV on our Roku channel. We will announce all that here next week. But, all sports all the time on our Sports Nation TV. Yes. But, we're going to dive into this U.S. men's national team conversation. And, it's interesting, right? Because Nathan and I are the ones that were going through this and kind of determining what we would consider to be our starting 11. Now, Nate's not here, so Ryan, you're going to have to defend his picks.
Just a couple of questionable ones.
We're going to start here, though, with his. So we're going to go. Here is Nate's picks right here. Tim Howard, obviously that's fair, right? Absolutely. I mean, we could argue Casey Keller. We could argue. I still think, from my perspective, that Tim Howard is the right pick. But he's got Anthony Robinson, obviously a current U.S. men's national team player. Carlos Bocanegra, not a
solid
bad
one.
pick. That's not a solid pick. Eddie Pope. And he's also got Serginho Dest. So he's got 2 U.S. men, current players on the roster in the back 4. We'll talk about that in a moment. Claudio Reyna, not surprised. John O'Brien right there in the middle. Tab Ramos also in the middle of the pack there. By the way, his formation is 4-3-3. Okay. Pulisic, Dempsey, Donovan. Now, those are very good up top picks. Now, I think he went with two too many in regards to current U.S. men's national team players in Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest. Now, Serginho, is he currently hurt right now?
I have no idea.
Now, Robinson is currently...
that's another player that we did not mention that makes an impact in Europe. He's a everyday starter for Fulham. There's another one.
Yeah. So my all right, so let's go through this. What are your thoughts on Nate's picks here?
Well, Dest is coming back from an injury, so there's that one. I just searched that one up. I just gotta say, Dest and Anthony Robinson, as much as they impact the current team. Where's DeMarcus Beasley? He almost played in 5. He played in 4. Almost played in 5 World Cups, I believe. I don't know the exact number, but he's a U.S. men's national team legend. And that's not knocking Anthony Robinson and Serginho Dest, but Beasley just an overall, I think, more impactful for the U.S. I think he is someone that should be in this one. That's my glaring one. But other than that, I think Pulisic is the only player that should be, on this current roster for the U.S., should be in this list. Clint Dempsey, Landon Donovan, no complaints there. Really, no complaints. But outside of that, just the outside backs. Got to have DeMarcus Beasley in there. You just have to.
I couldn't agree more. Let's look at mine now. I'll put mine on the screen again. Mine not terribly different. Some changes, obviously. I went with a 4-2-3-1, and again, for many different reasons, but mainly because if I'm thinking about the best players ever to play the game, I'm also thinking that we're probably playing against the best players that ever played. So you got to have more of a defensive mind. You could argue this could be a 4-5-1, right? And so 4-2-3-1. DeMarcus Beasley, Marcelo Balboa, all right, Eddie Pope, Steve Cherundolo. Those are my back 4. Tim Howard, my goalkeeper. Claudio Reyna, my captain, by the way. John O'Brien in my holding mids. Pulisic, Donovan, Dempsey, and then Brian McBride up top.
That's not bad.
No.
There's DeMarcus. I almost thought you forgot Beasley. I do like Cherundolo. I do like Cherundolo. I like Brian McBride. But did you not have Eric Wijnaldum in your top 5? Like, if you had Eric Wijnaldum in your top 5, how is he not even on the roster? That's a little confusing to me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so a couple things. So I think that there is I think he's actually in my not my bench. He's on my bench.
Okay.
So there is, yes. So I believe I'm just trying to find my notes here from earlier this.
Man, I'm
Here
sorry
you
I
go.
put you on the spot here.
No, it's okay. Yeah, so he is on my bench, right? So I do have him along with Bocanegra, Hayduck, Caligiuri, Michael Bradley, Tyler Adams, Jermaine Jones, Tab Ramos, Eric Ronaldo, and Josie Altidore. All of those are on my bench. You have to think about this. Okay, people get all bothered about starting 11s, and as a former head coach, I could tell you that there's a lot of reasons why players started, but none of them had, as much as it had to do with winning, it was about, creating a good start to your game, right? And creating a good flow. And I feel that this roster here on this field would give us the best ability to have a good, strong flow to start the game and allows us an opportunity to go and maybe, in a second half substitution, bringing in a player like Eric Ronaldo, right? Finding another player in to come in. Hey, remember, Alexi Lawless was a very good center back for us. Like, and again, now he's not one of the best players in the history of the game for us. But I would argue that Alexi Lawless would have been a fantastic center back to play in certain environments. And if you said, John, who are you playing against? Like, who are you playing? I mean, I picked this game, right? Who's this 11 for? If I'm playing against Brazil, am I playing against Mexico? Who am I playing against? I think that's also a question we never asked. But if you're telling me this was like, you're playing, am I playing every game this way? No. If you're saying I'm playing one game, what's going to give me the best chance to win just one game? Yeah. I think this is it. Mm-hmm. I think Tim Howard in goal. I think the likes of Pope, the likes of Cherundolo, I think the likes of Beasley and Balboa, I think those players give us the best chance defensively. Now, granted, they're a different player then than they are now, but I also argue that they know how to win the fucking ball.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Physicality, right? I mean, I can say that on the air. This is great. Then Reyna. And then also O'Brien. These are two players that, you argue, again, very, very good holding midfielders, defensively holding. And then the likes of Donovan, Pulisic, and Dempsey. I mean, Josie Altidore, to me, was not a technical player.
No, he was a very hold the ball up, kind of post up.
To be fair, he would be interchangeable with McBride.
I think,
right? So, because McBride and Altidore, you could say, okay, I could argue I could put him there. I could put Ronaldo actually at that 9.
I think you could put Altidore in a game where you're up 1-0, 2-1. You kind of just need that hold up play for a second. Or if you want to you have tough center backs that you want to play up and you want to have some hold up play. That's why Altidore, I think, coming off the bench is a better option than having him start. That's what I would agree with that.
I'm sorry, one more time?
I saying, like, if you need a little hold-up play, Altidore's your guy. You're up 1-0. You need to waste time a little bit. Altidore's your guy. I don't know. I don't think he starts, though.
I love how you guys took it to another level, though. You know what I mean? You said you're starting 11, and now we're talking about the bench too. Because
we weren't supposed to go to the bench.
I like that though.
Well, we weren't supposed to go that far.
It's an important conversation.
Well, because like yesterday with my picks, I didn't have Alex Morgan in my women's picks, right? And someone's like, well, how can you not have Alex Morgan? I go, because to be fair, I feel like Alex Morgan's a great player to come off the bench. Alex Morgan was not a technical player. I always felt that her just scrappy, and I felt that having Mia Hamm and Abby Wambach on the field was more, along with Christine Lilly, was more better, as Ryan would say. More better. But I felt like those players were more impactful on the pitch than Alex Morgan. But Alex Morgan would be a great player to come in and maybe sub out and sub on for an Abby Wambach or sub on for a Christine Lilly. Right? I felt like that was would give us the best chance to win in a soccer game. But I don't think Alex Morgan would start, even in her heyday. I just didn't think that she was a better player than who's she better than Christine Lilly?
Yeah, you put right in your front four kind of, because you also played 4-2. Something about you in 4-2-3-1s. You went Lilly, Lloyd, Ham, and then Wambach.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
That's a really good. I mean, again, and you could say that interchangeable. I can move Carly Lloyd somewhere, but I think Carly Lloyd, to be fair, she's a great 10. Great 10, right? Workhorse, great 10. She's got the great, but she's not the. She would even tell you she was not the best player that played. But the way she played the game made her so dangerous, and that's what sets her apart from everybody else. And then again, you talk about Alex Morgan, and again, me and him. I think the only player you could argue that Alex Morgan would be in place of would be Christine Lilly.
Probably.
But again, if I'm talking about winning one game, just winning one game, and it's got to be against whoever, I picked that lineup. And that's why I say this is the way to do it. That's a coaching mindset. And I'm just saying who's the best 11 ever. I could put Alex Morgan along with 10 other great players, and they could play in any position. I mean, let's be honest. We talk about the dream team every year in the High School Coaches Association, right? Those players are combination, but they're like 9 forward, 1 goalie, and a defender.
Yeah.
So if you actually put them all on the field together, they'd be no one back defending.
Pretty much.
Stats rules. Rules.
So, oh man, but yeah, those are your ultimate team looks there from both Nate and myself. Any final thoughts here before we move on, guys?
No?
No, that was it.
I had no final thoughts.
Wow, no final thoughts coming in from Ryan Glinsky. I thought he would give me something more better than that, but maybe
More better.
More better. Still there. I have to give you a compliment. I like the 4-2-3-1. You know, it was questionable there. That's a good choice, in my opinion.
Well, again, we're talking about the men's team. And the women's team as well. This is the thing. All those interchange into a 4-3-3. If anyone here thinks that they don't, then they don't know soccer. Put that back up on the screen. Let's talk this through for a second before we move on here. Okay? 'Cause
Yours?
I think this is, bring up mine. Yep. Well, because Nate's is a 4-3-3. All right, so in this scenario, what was DeMarcus Beasley really known for?
Overlapping?
Overlapping. So what's going to happen is Claudio Reyna and John O'Brien, both of them are going to tuck in, right? So they're going to get really inside, right? Christian Pulisic could also do the exact same thing, but he's going to get extremely wide on that far side. DeMarcus Beasley is going to time his runs, man, and make overlapping runs all day long up the field. Same thing with Steve Cherundolo, right? And then what you're going to have is you're going to have Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey. They're going to overload. You're going to overload the side that you need to be overloading. So this is the best formation to do that. It also allows you to defend very well, but you're not going to attack in this formation, guys. Claudio Reyna is going to slide into the middle of the park and make that, and then John O'Brien's going to get forward, and you're going to see Christian Pulisic go up top with McBride and Dempsey as well, or vice versa, and they're interchangeable. It turns into a 4-3-3 very easily, but I don't think you need to be set up as a 4-3-3 because we're not going to defend in a 4-3-3.
Yeah, too many gaps.
Too many gaps, especially against other teams around the world. And so I think that's the perfect formation. And it makes the most sense for us to talk about here when it comes to that. But hey, coming up here, we will dive into the University of Detroit Jazz formation, and it makes the most comes to that. But hey, coming